after week 9 when Phoenix 1 goes 0-2 and swaps around a lot of their players, whether they'd be able to pull it together for quarterfinals. Emphatically, yes, a 3-0 over Team Dignitas.
Incredibly clean from them. Those were lane phase victories across the board. Game 1 seemed to be the only one that was close, and the shot calling prevailed, but then 2, 3 seemed rather easy for them.
Yeah, and when we say lane phase victories, they were taking small advantages and turning them into victories, which is not an easy thing to do. They were consistently moving around the map better than Team Dignitas, and unfortunately for Team Dignitas, their season ends here.
Dignitas, we said they went through a hell of a fight, a hell of a lot of obstacles to make their way to the playoffs. Unfortunately, it ends here, but Phoenix 1, man, they need to be happy. They should be happy.
Stunt,
what a show.
Stunt just beat his old team that traded him away to Phoenix 1.
That's got to be, what's the word? You got to feel justified in that. Feel like they made the wrong choice. You were the person who was able to come back and say, hey, you shouldn't have traded me.
Yeah, it was a backup on Team Dignitas to a starter on Phoenix 1. It's a pretty strong ascent throughout the year. And now some relief.
The two OG members.
The two members that were on Phoenix 1 when they fell to the promotion tournament and now are here for their move into the semifinals.
After a showing like that, I feel like you've earned the right to slump down in your chair a little bit. Just take a deep breath and take it all in. You're going to the semifinals. You get to continue playing further now up against Cloud9. We said that's going to be their next objective. It's going to be one hell of a series.
Yeah, and you think about last time they played Cloud9, that's the 0-2 series where Stunt went 0-7, got completely blasted by Smoothie, and then they subbed him out for Shady.
So rough times in that one, but Phoenix 1 will look to make some sort of a redemption play for their whole team. We talked about Inori's redemption, his storyline. Well, now it's time for the whole team to hop on against that Cloud9 matchup.
Absolutely, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and the big thing I want to add, just final thing here is, we talk about lane phase victories. Those are much harder to get up against the likes of Cloud9, who have Jensen, Impact, and then even Sneaky was able to destroy the bottom lane last time alongside Smoothie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, to hear more about the clean 3-0 from Phoenix 1 today, let's send it over to Dash and the analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That is exactly right. A clean 3-0 for Phoenix 1. I mean, game 1 being the closest of the 3, but games 2 and 3 just kind of compounding to make a statement here from Phoenix 1 saying, we are back. We are deserved of our number 3 slot moving into playoffs, and they're going to put up a fight against the likes of C9 come next week.
Ryu definitely making a statement there. Arrow as well. Those guys, good imports on Phoenix 1.
Okay, the best thing I have to say about P1 is like it never feels like they're too desperate late game because they trust their carries so much. Their carries are just that good. So it always feels like if Dig doesn't end the game, they'll lose. And I feel like P1 never gets that type of pressure because they're okay if the length of the game elongates all the way. They're okay with however long the game goes.
Absolutely. We heard them talking there, or Irene talking there, about how in this game in particular, it was really just one lanes across the board for Phoenix 1, but how that challenge will be even greater against C9. But isolated to this matchup, let's just kind of reflect on where we were at the beginning of the day to where we ended up. Let's go back to that top lane because we focused a ton on the bot lane, but Zig here against SSUMDAY pulling out the Fizz, so showing us a little bit more of an aggressive style champion, being able to pick up that Trinity Force, playing quite well once again.
Yeah, no criticisms for Zig, honestly. I mean, he played exactly kind of how we thought he was going to play and did a very good job. You know, being that role player for the team.
Now, the big play that turned the game, or rather, not turned the game, put the nail in the coffin. 4 for 2 in the bot lane here. I'm going to pull this one up. Scar, walk me through it.
All right, on this play, top lane, it's something just flanked, got a really good flank position. They just killed Zig. Watch the Oreo ball here. It's really hard to see. He gets a great one in four people, hits it, and that's game over.
Off of his own reposition, too, right? Just Q, immediate ult. Follows and pulls off 4 of them.
And this looked like a great position because at the start of the fight, it was 20 seconds before this, both Fizz and the Ori used ulti, and so they had 2 huge ultis down, but the Ori had so much CDR, the ulti came back up before the fight started.
For that state of the game, that was definitely the best look that Team Dignitas were going to get, and they started out really well, and that was actually a team fight saving move from Ryu right there.
Yes, absolutely. Big plays from him across the board in all 3 games. For now, though, we have some time. We're going to send it over to Jat, who's waiting on stage to get the P1 jungler's thoughts on that series.
Thanks, Dash. And yes, I'm joined by INORI. First off, congratulations on the 3-0 victory, but I have to ask you first about being put into the starting lineup at the end of the split and for the playoffs here. You had been trading a lot of time with Meteos. How did it feel to get the 3-0 here as the starter?
It feels really good. I think I was on a pretty big slump before, like going to Vancouver and coming back. I saw my team do really well without me, and that kind of like hurt my confidence, but it shouldn't. But it was just tough to take in because seeing the team succeed without you is kind of hard because you kind of lowers your value and how you felt about the team. But like slowly, the team's been supporting me a lot. Like the organization, P1, like they believed in me a lot and helped me like push me to believe in myself more, and I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, and you mentioned how you learned a lot while you were out. When you were on Phoenix 1 at first, you were a lot of the carry in most of the games. What did you learn during that time off to come back and be more successful with this 3-0?
I learned how to play Ivern, but yeah, I think watching Meteos is amazing. Like he's such a cool guy and he's such a great player and his communication is so good. And I try to take as much as I could from him by watching the scrims and put into my own style without like still changing my style. I still want to be a carry jungler, but I still want to be able to support my team if they need me to be on a support jungle.
Yeah, well, it worked out very well today. I want to ask you a little bit more about the series. I know the first game was incredibly back and forth, and then it felt as the series progressed like it got more and more controlled. How was the team progressing throughout the series as far as mentality and just general strategy?
Yeah, I think we didn't know how good Dignitas was. Like, it was just a lot of wondering like how good they are, how much they practice, and I think they improved a lot, but still I think we improved even more. So I think Dignitas is a really good team, but we just practiced so goddamn hard for this, and I think it paid off.
Yeah, and you've also been pretty outspoken about wanting to go to Vancouver. Even if you guys don't beat Cloud9 in the semifinals, you will be in Vancouver for that 3rd or 4th place match. What will it be like playing to that Vancouver crowd?
It's like, it's pretty hard to believe because like I just came in last split, and now this is a split my P1 makes the playoffs, and it's in Vancouver, so it's just pretty hard to believe, and I'm still like having trouble believing that I'm going to play in my hometown this fast, but I'm just so goddamn happy.
Yeah, and you guys have to play against Cloud9 next week. Do you have any quick thoughts on that matchup before we send it back to the desk?
Cloud9's pretty good, so I think we have to step it up a bit, but I think it'll be a good series.
All right, well, thank you very much, INORI. Congratulations on the 3-0 win, and we're going to send it back to Dash and the rest of the desk.